Hey YouTube, it's Raven coming at you from Utah, driving to see my daughter. So anyway, this is on the 2018 Pagan Challenge. Today I am on letter J, and I am going to do journaling. So, do you guys journal? I started journaling about 3 years ago. I do one journal a year. I pick a notebook. In fact, I brought my current journal, which is really pretty. It's a leather bound, I think it's a Celtic cross or something. And you'll see it. So yeah. So I write in my journals, like, it depends. Sometimes it's every day for a week, sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once a month, and I've even gone longer than that, but I recommend doing it like once a week. I'll tell you what, sorry, I got an itch. Last week I picked up my old journal, my first journal, and I went back and read it, and it's so nice to go back and see where you were, what your dreams were, what your wishes were, and or what mine were anyway, and how far I've come. When I started my journaling, I was still in Arizona. I was wishing to move to Las Vegas to work in one of the big hotels on the Strip, and maybe go back to school and make more money, and here we are 3 years later, and it's all happened. I now live in Las Vegas. I did go back to school for a year for massage therapy. I now work on the Las Vegas Strip at one of the hotels, one of the nice hotels, doing both massage and aesthetics. So I'm very fortunate. But it's really, really nice to go back and see where you were and how far you've gotten. So for my journaling, what I recommend is you have to set time aside or you're never going to do it. So what I do now is I love to get up in the morning. I try to get up about an hour early, make my coffee, feed the animals, get my butt outside in the morning when the sun's coming up, and it's time for me. So I will either go on, Facebook or Gmail, or I'll read, or I'll journal. And it's just nice to go back, to see parts of your life and what you were doing and what you thought. And journaling is a great way to release things. If you have anxiety or if you're depressed, it is a phenomenal way to release that pent-up nervous energy or sadness, even if it's just on paper. For some reason, it just makes you feel better. Also, it's great if you're mad at somebody, if you're mad at your best friend or your husband or your kids, and you need to release. Instead of going in and screaming at them and causing a big old commotion, write it out in your journal on how you feel. Because you know what, guys, someday they may read it, and it's a good way to get everything out that you need to get out. Because sometimes when you're arguing with somebody, you don't always get your point across, or they don't see your side of it. So with journaling, you can get it all out on paper. And maybe someday that person will read it and maybe understand a little bit more of what you were going through. Maybe they don't understand that. You can journal about that, what you're going through. But I love journaling about my hopes, aspirations, and dreams every year, and I've done videos on this of my yearly goals and how I'm going to get to my yearly goals, how I'm going to obtain those. So I do journal about that stuff and where I'm at. And you can journal about, going back the past year and what were those hopes and dreams, and did you obtain them? And if you didn't, how can you obtain them this year, or what are your steps to obtaining them? You can also journal about all your fun witchy things, your spells, what works for you and what didn't work and why. So you have that record of this stuff. My God, I gotta show you the view, guys. Hold on. Oh, that's me. Check that shit out, right? Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Sorry. That was our commercial break. So anyway, yeah, your witchy things. What works and what doesn't work for you. A lot of you guys are really good about organizing and journaling and having sections for each individual thing, like, you know, a separate witchy section. And I don't do it. I kind of mishmash it all together. I even write about the books I'm reading and what I'm getting from those books, which is great. I'm a little more anal in my book of shadows, but my journal, I'm just kind of like whatever I'm feeling that day, about whether what I'm feeling, or writing about what I just read in a book, what I learned, writing about my witchy stuff, what I've been doing, what's worked, what didn't work, yada yada. So yeah, mine's a mishmash, but it's fine. You do it any way you want. There's some crazy journalers out there. It's called, like, they do like this bullet journaling, and they make a whole journal for the year, and they separate it by the days, and they decorate it. And let me tell you, they're beautiful, but I ain't got that kind of time. I wish I did, and I wish I was that artistic. My daughters could probably both do something like that. But yeah, not mama. So I'll just buy the journal. And again, buying journals, you don't have to go elaborate. You can go to CVS and get a 99-cent notebook if you want, and not decorated, or decorated. You can go to the bookstore. That's where I've gotten quite a few of my last couple of journals. I've got some beautiful journals at home, and they're like $12 to $20, leather bound, just gorgeous. This was actually one of my my oldest daughters. She just didn't end up using it. She wrote like one page in it, and she moved out and left it behind. She didn't want it, so I took it over and I started using it. So yeah. But you can go on Amazon and get some elaborate shit if you want to, like hundreds of dollars, but completely up to you, whatever you feel. But I think it's important. Journaling is also great if you travel and write about your experiences, because you forget the details sometimes when you're away traveling. And when you write everything down about what you experienced, like on a vacation or something, that is so nice to go back and read, because you forget some stuff of what you did or how you felt at the time. I journaled a little bit when I was in Italy, and we don't get to travel that much or that extensively, so Italy was like the trip I had always wanted to take since I was a little girl. And I journaled about Sicily, and I will tell you what, I absolutely love going back and reading that, because it just takes you back to that time. Write about your feelings and what you're seeing and the smells and the difference in cultures, and oh God, it takes you right back. It's awesome. So I highly recommend it. I think it can help you grow as a person, because when you go back and read things, you can say, yeah, I was in a bad place, or hey, maybe I could have done this differently or that differently. So yeah, so that's my take. It's short and sweet. I love journaling. I think everybody should take the time to do it, because let's face it, guys, you need to take time for yourself, because especially us women, and then we end up having families, you know, it's about everybody else first. You put yourself on the back burner. Journaling gives you that little bit of time. Wake up a half hour early, guys. Spend alone time outside in the morning with the sun coming up, and the god or the goddess or whoever you worship, and just take that time to be with them and to meditate and pray. You can do yoga in the morning outside with the sun coming up, which is super cool. Just watching the birds. I put some bird feeders out, and I got a hummingbird now, just had a baby, and it's kind of cool. It's nice. Maybe I'm getting old. Do you know what? The older I get, I'm 47 now. This year I'll be 48, and I'm just realizing, you know, a guy from home just passed away. Same just me, brain aneurysm. Like, you just don't know. And at this point in my life, it's not about, I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks about me anymore. I don't care. I don't care. I need to make me happy. At the end of the day, what are you going to look back on and say, I wish I did this or that? And you know what, for me, it was about taking time for myself to grow as a person. So journaling is kind of a way to do that for me. Anyway, so what do you guys do? Do you have any ideas? Something that I don't do? I would love to hear what you guys do. But yeah, take the time. I'm going to journal. I brought my journal with me for my, little 3-day trip to see my daughter. I'm super excited to see her. She travels around the country seasonally and works jobs here and jobs there just so she can see the United States. I think it's super awesome and cool. So I'm going to journal about it and take in some of this amazing scenery. So I hope you guys have a blessed and fabulous day. Keep your energy high. Keep the negativity at bay. Kick that shit to the curb. Don't let anybody bother you.